Greetings. I'm going to try to handle this delicately and respectfully, but I want to show some posts which appeared on the Boom Church channel, first in the channel's community tab, and then some footage from that channel's video interview with Eran ElHaik, as I think what we're going to see here captures some of the issues with imprecision, which are inherent in a lot of these vague appeals to genetics, which get thrown around in certain circles. So what you see on your screen here is the public community tab of the Boom Church channel. And I'm going to scroll down to a post from about a week and a half ago, a little less than 2 weeks ago. And you'll see this date here that reads 20 November. I myself added that as an approximation of when this post went up. The actual date just reads 9 days ago. And just to be clear, I recorded this on the 29th of November. So the date that I put, 20 November, is somewhat approximate, depending on what time of the day that the post went up. This could be from the 19th of November. So the caption of the post reads as follows, quote, "After having a dialogue with Professor Eran ElHaik, I was able to upload and share my DNA with them, and I received my DNA similarities from my ancient relatives." End quote. I want to stop there for a second and just note that he's referring to Eran ElHaik's website, ancientdnaorigins.com. And he continues, quote, "GEDMatch gives you low numbers the closer you are, but these numbers indicate close similarities, so be on the lookout for our interview on November 29th. End quote. Real quick note about GEDMatch, there's already some imprecision there, and I'll touch on it in a second when we get to look at a clip from the Boom Church's interview with Eran ElHaik. And with that, we can scroll down to the images he shared of his apparent DNA results. Perhaps some might want to say his alleged DNA results. And the first thing you should notice is the sort of glaring lack of detail. You know, that there are a number of different projects that are available on Eran ElHaik's website, and he's not clear as to what this is from, what page this is from, how you get to this page. It's all very vague. But whatever the case, in this first image he shares, first off, notice that there's above those sort of region designations, you see it's highlighted at the top of the screen. It says Arabia, then there's Middle East, Iraq, Caucasus, Iran, Turkey, etc. There's text that would be above that's cut off, and we'll get to that a little bit later in the video. But whatever the case, these are presented as his results, right? He allegedly got a high reading for Yemen Jewish, and a high reading for Saudi Arabia, and then a lower reading for Yemen without Jewish added to that. Then we can scroll to his second image, and he highlights in particular Israel Bedouin, and remember that. So he's presenting this as him getting a high rating for Bedouin, and then you have other columns for Jordan, Israel, Palestine, Syria, Lebanon, or Lebanese, and Cyprus. And then he has, he gives an image for the definition of Bedouin. And then we have his fourth image where you have still more columns, such as we're, reading Egypt, Libya Jew, Moroccan Jew, Tunisian Jew, keep this in mind, Tunisia, Algerian, and it says Mozabite, and then Mozabite, etc., Morocco. Okay, and the first thing I want you to notice is that there isn't a column marked me or Will Brown or something like that, right? You look at this and you get the impression that he's being compared to these columns, and I want you to keep that in mind, because a person who doesn't ask any questions about what's shown in that community post might get one impression from that post. However, that impression might not fit well with some discussion on that material, which came up in Will Brown's interview with Eran ElHaik roughly 9 days later. The interview was over an hour long. I'm going to show maybe 5 minutes worth of footage from it, and I'll stop and start, at certain points to intersperse it with my own comments or things that I want to point out. So we're going to pick it up at about slightly after the 42-minute mark, and they're going to be discussing his website and precisely the results that Will Brown was under the impression that he got. So here's the clip, and fair use.
I want to ask you a question about me. I'm I did like 5 DNA tests, right? So
Yep.
Are you familiar with GEDMatch?
Yep.
Okay, so I did GEDMatch. GEDMatch gave me some good stuff, some, some monitor, the limbas, Jews, some Yemenite Jews.
Okay, right away, I just want to stop it right there and make a point about GEDMatch. Is already, for me, there's an issue of imprecision here. When he says GEDMatch, he means specifically GEDMatch Oracle, not GEDMatch proper, but sort of a second layer down, where after you get your GEDMatch results within a given project and a given calculator, you then click the Oracle button and you see these comparisons you get from this playful tool. I have a couple of videos on GEDMatch Oracle which cover this issue. The main point to keep in mind is that GEDMatch Oracle is not measuring shared DNA what the populations are being compared to. It basically just has your autosomal ratings across a set of categories, and then it has like a mathematical formula which compares those numbers to the same ratings that the different samples got across those same categories. So again, GEDMatch Oracle is not measuring shared DNA. That's an important point that a lot of these folks who appeal to GEDMatch without mentioning that they're appealing to Oracle either they don't realize this or they leave it out. Whatever the case, that's an issue with imprecision right out the gate, and I'll share the links to my videos on Oracle in the video description. But let's get back to the interview.
When I did this DNA test with you guys, and let me read just a little bit of this percentage. It's kind of blew my mind. So I'll just give maybe 3 of them. Okay. Israel Bedouin. This is like this is one of them, which is I'm just going to read from based on the chart of here. It says Israel Bedouin. It says Yemenite Jew, and it says Moroccan Jew, Tunisian Jew, Algerian Mozabite. Wait, what is going on here?
I give this? Whose results are these?
These are mine.
Yeah, but what test?
This is from the I think I did the.
Is this the GEDMatch?
No. This is from Ancient DNA Origins.
Can you show me the screen? All the tests here are ancient. There is no way I would tell you anything about Tunisian Jews.
Hold on.
Did you catch that? Brown thought he got a result giving him a high percentage comparison to a Tunisian Jewish sample. That was in the 4th image of his community post, which we saw. But Dr. ElHaik is telling him that Tunisian Jew would be a modern population, while his results would be compared to ancient samples. Now, keep that in mind moving forward.
I'm reading here from, hold on, I'm reading it from the screenshot that I took of mine. It just has here, it's under the DNA test kit. When I paid for it, I uploaded it through GEDMatch to the site here. Yeah. It gave me genetic similarity. Is that a genetic similarity? I think that's what it says. It has the list. It says Arabia, Middle East, Iraq, Caucasian.
Are you in the population-wide results?
Hold on, I'm not sure here.
Okay, now, I don't intend this disrespectfully, but it is important to note that the host himself seems unsure where he took his own screenshots from. Personally, I think that speaks to the issue of imprecision and the problem with running with information that one might not fully understand. I'd say that was a problem with previous appeals to GEDMatch Oracle, and I'm going to also submit that it is likewise an issue with the community post that we looked at. Now, again, I'm not saying this to cast aspersions on the host of the Boom Church channel. What I'm trying to do here is highlight concerns about a lack of clarity or of careful methodology.
Once I
you want to show us your results on the screen?
Hold on, let me try to get it to it here.
I don't know how you feel about your genetic privacy, but
yeah, I got it. Let me get my
if you want, I can show screens. I can share my screen and show you what's in this test.
Okay, yeah, let me share. I'll share the let me see. I guess I can make you a host, and then
click on the share screen and just let me share my thing.
Okay, hold on.
Because right now I'm disabled.
Okay, I've made you a co-host.
You should. No, I need to be able to. Oh, now I can. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Great. So I'm going to my account, my results.
Okay.
I'm gonna do Viking if that's okay with everybody. Okay. It's not really my DNA. Let me show you. Which one did you say it is?
This one is I think I did I chose I think it's an option for Levite and Judah
Levite.
and those
Levite
things like that.
The only one that may not be in my list. I'll take the share tribe if nobody minds.
Okay.
View my results. Like I said, my not a great example. I'm sorry. I'm going to show you the Viking. The file that I used is far more Scandinavian than anything else.
Okay.
So the first part shows you a breakdown of your ancient ancestry.
Yep.
To regions.
I'm going to skip ahead by about a minute and a half and get to the part where they discuss the genetic legacy and modern genetic similarities, which falls under the population-wide results option.
So that's what I was going to ask about the genetic legacy. And
the genetic legacy is what was left of these ancient Vikings today.
Okay. So what about the modern genetic similarities?
Yeah, exactly.
So what is all of that?
We told you how similar you are to this culture, right? It was 15%, 20%, but what does that mean? Is this a lot? Is this too much? Is it not enough?
Right.
So we want to give you context to those results. So these are how Finnish are close to the Vikings. So you're not as Vikings as Finnish and Norway. Okay.
Okay, let me pause that right there. Take a look at what Dr. ElHaik showed. You'll notice that it has the different groupings at the top of the screen. And notice that he had a column on the left marked me in reference to the person who was tested. What Dr. ElHaik showed was basically the same structure, right? It has basically the same structure as what appeared in what the host had showed in the screenshots which appeared in that community post that we looked at. Although, obviously, the regional groups at the top of the screen were different, as, Will Brown was apparently using a different option. So, Dr. ElHaik is showing an option which looks at maybe Scandinavian groups, Scandinavian regional groupings, and Will Brown is looking at, sort of Middle Eastern, West Asian regional groupings. But notice in Brown's screenshots, there is no column marked me. There's no column in reference to himself. You see, this section is apparently comparing ancient samples to modern populations. And then if you fit meaningfully into that comparison, there will also be a column to show how you stack up in those comparisons. And therefore, it should be cause for concern if there isn't a column for you. See, and the same is the case in that screenshot he showed highlighting a column marked Bedouin. Like, yes, there's a column marked Israeli Bedouin there, but there isn't a column marked me. In other words, there isn't a column for Will Brown. So that raises a question. Do you think this might mean that he may have misunderstood what he was looking at? Well, listen to what Dr. ElHaik says next.
So these are just modern day populations to whom we applied the test, just like you did. And now you can put the results into context.
That's what I was reading from when I was saying about the Arabian, about the Bedouins.
Yeah. So it's not that you're a Bedouin. This is just the results for Bedouins.
Oh, but results for Bedouin. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
So if you heard that, the host did indeed misunderstand what he was looking at. The column marked Bedouin was not listing how similar he was to a Bedouin sample. Rather, it was showing how similar a modern Bedouin sample was to whatever ancient sample it was being compared to. Now, I'm going to play that one more time along with a tiny bit of added clarity, and then we'll wrap this up.
That's what I was reading from when I was saying about the Arabian, about the Bedouins.
Yeah. So it's not that you're a Bedouin. This is just the results for Bedouin.
Oh, but results for Bedouin. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
All these companies. So I don't know if I have Bedouins here. You have Middle Eastern. I may not have Middle East because again, it's not really relevant to this population. If I take another test, it would change.
Okay.
Point is, all these genetic testing that you've taken, they always told you you're 20% this, 30% that. Yeah. But what does it mean? Is it good? Is it bad? Have your parents been good? I mean, you have no idea. There is no context. Gotcha. So this is what this is for. Now you've got context. Now you understand how to place yourself in the universe. Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. So I'm going to stop that there, and I'll share a link to that discussion in the video description. Before I close, I just want to again reiterate that in no way has it been my intention here to try to cast aspersions on the host of the Boom Church channel. However, I think that we just saw what we just saw shows that there's a need for, if I can echo the Orthodox more, there's a need for the conversation to be slowed down. There's a need for a careful discussion on methodology. What is not helpful is an unwillingness to answer questions, or worse, feigning offense when methodological questions are raised, right? So too with, trying to censor and block and moderate out comments that ask, more precise or careful methodological questions. Like with previous discussions on GEDMatch, so too with these other platforms. If one is going to publicly present fragmentary, decontextualized screenshots as proof of something, it is fair for others to ask for more detail, at least if there's going to be a serious dialogue on the implications or alleged implications of such results. And I just wanted to share this as a bit of food for thought. And having said that, I'll close this video here. As always, I welcome any questions or comments or criticisms. I don't censor anyone here, so feel free to share your thoughts, whether positive or negative. And God bless.
Hey, man. Hey, Dr. William Brown, man, if you watching, brother, show your you know what I'm saying, show your screen or whatever you was looking at, man. Clarify what's going on.
Hey, but this is also why you need to go ahead and get the Judah joint, Yeshu.
My brother said he got it. He said he got the Judah and Levi one. That's what he said on air.
And that's why you need. Hey, and this is what I'm saying, bro. So that screen is not going to get shared when that test result comes back, because you know what the test result is going to say, right? And that's why you need to show what your joint says when you get the Judah Levi joint. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to believe it, fam. Like African Americans need to understand this is what, because the default concept in this community is Judah Levi. You know what it is, right? You know what it is, right? So they got to see what it is, bro. Like, what does it look like when a brother like? So okay, how sub-Saharan African are you, bro?
80%.
Yeah, like people got to see. They wouldn't believe it if I took it, right? I'm not enough as far as they're concerned, right? They got to see what y'all take it.
Let me look.